What is up, our brothers and sisters of the Forge? It's time for another monthly episode of our Underground Spotlight segment, where we cover some of the lesser-known bands of the metal landscape and try to shine a light on some of the unknown bands that are crushing it in the genre. Ben and I spend hours exploring the depths and dungeons of Bandcamp to find these gems and compile these lists so that you can easily explore what these killer bands released. To make it easy, we put the links in the description where you can support the bands we found, and also we put together a Spotify playlist with all of our picks. Check out the links below and get lost in the metal underground. Before we get started, what are some lesser known releases you've been loving from October? Let us know in the comments. If you like videos like these, be sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us for more metal content. Let's get to our first pick. The first one on my list is Trident, North. This was released on October 2nd on Non-Servium Records. This album was my first experience with Trident, and I absolutely fell in love with this record. Totally fantastic black and death metal with a bitter cold tinge of atmosphere to it. There's some great vibes all over this record, and the compositions are equal parts furious and relentless as they are melodic and catchy. I'm not surprised, given that this is a super group of members / ex-members of Dissection, Lord Belial, and Altar of Sacrifice. If you miss the atmosphere of mid-era Immortal, then you'll probably love this record. It's got a frozen feel to it, and the whole album fucking rips. Definitely a highlight of my October. I could totally see this record making it onto a future winter playlist for adventuring in the snow. This whole record is full of surprises, and it oozes masterful composition and playing. Here's a clip from Summoning. You can support Trident on the Non-Servium Records Bandcamp, where they have CDs and vinyl. Don't sleep on this record. It is phenomenal. One of the biggest surprises of the year for me. Ben, what's your pick?
Thanks, Brandon. First on my list is Thesyre. They came out with 2 releases this year. The first of them being the Echo Chamber EP, and the second that I'll be talking about is the Shift LP. This is the brainchild of Eric Sire, who has been in the scene for quite some time as an artist and owns Radicart Design. They are based out of Quebec. Their lyrics and titles are bilingual, being French and English, which is a pretty cool touch because Quebec, if you are not aware of, is the only province in Canada where French is the primary language. The Echo Chamber EP is more of a punk, grind, hardcore-inspired EP with some blackened twists here and there. There's a lot of shouting vocals, backbeats, very quick songs. There's only 2 songs on here, and it clocks in at around 3 minutes. The highlight for me of this year from Thesyre, though, is the Shift LP. Much better sonic qualities on this record with a greater variety of instrumentation. I definitely felt this one more than Echo Chamber. There's some incredible drumming on here by Pierre Zvord Langlois, and the great songwriting is backed by these 2 guys, and every song is at least pretty damn good. There's no fillers here, there's no fluff. The album is very well paced. None of the songs clocking in at more than 5 minutes. And the album total runs about 26 and a half minutes. Just a great through and through record. Shift is a much more focused and progressive album than Echo Chamber. It kind of reminds me of Arcturus, Triptychon, that sort of blackened, progressive variety of metal. Here's a clip from a song that I chose, De Sublimation Repress... French.
You French pig!
Here's a clip from a song that I chose, De Sublimation Repressive.
Diverti par des prouesses technologiques sous l'emprise d'un subtil contrôle. Impossible pour elle de jouer un autre rôle.
I I hope you'll consider checking out Thesyre. They have a Bandcamp page that you can go to, and you can grab digital copies or stream their music. Brandon.
Thanks, Ben. The next one I have on my list is Toadeater, bit to ewigen, daogen. I'm probably butchering that. Released on October 2nd on Kellerasel Records. I have to admit, I was a bit skeptical at first with their band name. I thought for sure that they would be a stoner doom band, but Toadeater are an atmospheric black metal band of their own kind. Germany-based Toadeater wrote one of the most compelling black metal records I've heard this year, and this album is full of melodic madness. The album is paced perfectly and full of tons of surprises with the songwriting. The sound on this record is equal parts crisp and lo-fi. I know that sounds a little strange to say, but you have to check it out to understand what I mean. I love the production because it feels like a desolate landscape full of winds howling against your raw skin as you traverse aimlessly through barren lands. The riffs on this album are crushing, the vocals are punishing, and the compositions are absolutely fantastic. I had never heard this band before, and I can't wait to see how these guys continue to push their sound. Here's a clip from Returning the Crown. Toadeater have LPs, cassettes, CDs available on their Bandcamp. Definitely jump on grabbing this because I could easily see this becoming a rarity on Discogs and being hundreds of dollars at some point with how good this record is. Ben, what's your next pick?
All right, Brandon, I would like to tell you and our viewers about Skypig with their Hell Is Inside You album. This is a 3-piece sludge stoner band from Sacramento, California, and this is the second EP from this band. If you like your stoner metal fuzzy with punching riffs and shouted vocals, you're really going to like this. There's really nothing groundbreaking here in terms of riffs or sonic qualities. A lot of the riffing kind of follows the stoner sludge playbook very closely. But if this is your thing, you're going to dig this. This is definitely a band I'd want to go see live with earplugs because I'm sure they play loud, as all bands in this genre do. Because even in the recordings, what I really like about this album is that you can feel the energy that the band has to give. I'm sure it was a very passionate recording process for these guys because you can really feel that energy going into their guitars, their drums, the vocals. It's really great. Some of my favorite riffs come early on in the EP, specifically from the song The Skag. Here's a clip from that song. For all you sludge and stoner fans out there, this is an album that you're definitely going to want to check out and jump into the pigsty with. Support Skypig by going on to the Transylvanian Tapes Bandcamp, where they have some cassettes available for purchase, and as always, you can do the digital media if that's what you prefer as well. Brandon, what do you got next?
Thanks, Ben. Skypig is a hilarious name for a band, and I guess it makes sense that it's stoner doom because when you're in that state of mind, I'm like, what do you want to call our band? I don't know, Skypig. Anyways, last one on my list is Invernoir, The Void and the Unbearable Loss, released October 9th on Funer Records / Bad Moon Man Music. Everyone who has watched our channel, and I've said this multiple times, knows that we love us some melodic doom. This band is a new discovery for me, and I had never heard them before. You can tell that this album is pure devotion to 90s-based melodic doom and the best albums of the bands like My Dying Bride, Anathema, Catatonia, Paradise Lost. The album even sounds like it came from the 90s, which I thought was a really cool touch, and I really love that about it. I was surprised to hear that the vocals throughout the record have a pretty high diversity. There's high screams, there's mid screams, there's growls. Definitely makes the album unique with the melodic doom genre. And also, in addition to harsh vocals, there's exploration with cleans, which I thought actually are pretty fantastically performed on this album. And the riffing and guitar harmonies are full of melancholy, which is par for the course of something like this. I love the decision to support the song atmosphere with padded keyboards way in the background, and it adds a fantastic moodiness to the songwriting. This is a great album. Let's check out a clip from House of Debris. You can support Invernoir on their record label Bandcamp, where they have CDs available for purchase. Definitely check this band out if you're looking for some mid-tempo melodic doom. Absolutely fantastic record. Check them out. Ben, what's your last pick?
Brandon, that is a great choice, and I'm glad that you put that one on my radar. An awesome album if you're really into the melodic doom, death type of thing. It really grows. The album from front to back is just gets better as you listen to it. I love the variety on that record. It's definitely a contender for album of the month of October for sure. Last but not least for me is Dead Slow with their EP1 and PSA. Dead Slow is a punk hardcore metal fusion from the UK. It's pretty noteworthy that PSA was recorded while the band was in lockdown. Like many of the other bands that we cover, the line is starting to blur between bands on major labels that go into multi-million-dollar studios and indie bands that have home recording setups. Bands in 2020 are putting out material from their home studios that would have been unthinkable budget, equipment-wise, 30 years ago. Dead Slow is a good band to round out today's episode. They are a heavy band that blends, as I said before, punk, metal, hardcore influences into a gritty, filthy, and raw sound. It's like having your orange juice extra pulpy with bits of teeth and sinew in it. Here's a highlight song, Catharsis.
A chronic case of gray, when the count smells of ballet. There's no end in sight. Just hope I make it through the night. The atrophy.
Dead Slow's material is on Spotify as well as YouTube. They have some cool shirts available on their Big Cartel. I love that Simpsons design. It's so awesome. Hans Moleman is one of my favorite Simpsons characters, and just the design is fucking hilarious. So, good job on that one, guys. Definitely be sure to support Dead Slow. Well, that wraps up another solo episode of Underground Spotlight, and if you like what you see here, be sure to check out our past videos. We've organized everything so that our different segments are easy for you to find. Just go to our main YouTube page and you'll see the playlist. We just want to say that we are beyond thrilled for having hit the 500 subscribers mark. Thank you so much for all your support and feedback. Also, big shout out to Dennis, whom we love very, very much. In the words of the great Albert Einstein, our task must be to free ourselves by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures in the whole of nature and its beauty. Take care and widen your circle.